Welcome to my kitchen. One of the things I always keep on my shelf is a container of soup broth like this one. Unfortunately, this costs $3 and I use so much of it that making soup 6 times a week in the wintertime, that's $18 just for soup broth. I'm going to show you in today's video how you can make your own for just pennies by keeping a scrap bag in your freezer. So this is my scrap bag, and as you can see, it's just a plain gallon-size Ziploc bag that lives in my freezer in the door. I don't even bother to close it. It just stays open, and all I have to do is save whenever I'm cooking. I save my onion skins, carrot peels, leek tops, apple cores. I have a list in the description box below of the most common things that I put in. And I just, when it's full, I'm ready to make soup. I also, in the description box below, have a list of things that I don't like to put in. So, for instance, potatoes make fabulous soup, potato skins, or even the water left over from cooking potatoes, but unfortunately anything that has a lot of starch in it will clog the filter, and I do filter it at the end, which I'll show you, so I wouldn't put that in. I also don't put anything like cucumbers because I love gazpacho. I love cucumbers in gazpacho, but that's about the only soup I want that flavor in. The other thing is obviously only use healthy skins and leavings from healthy vegetables. So from here on, the process is pretty simple. You simply empty the contents of your scrap bag, and in this case, the scrap bag was half full, and that's about 8 cups of leavings. And then you add your water. Whoops. So this is my optimum ratio, 8 cups of leavings to 16 cups of water. Actually, that's more like 18 cups of water. The other thing I add to this is dried shiitake mushrooms. If you can find these, they add a really nice flavor to the broth. I buy a big bag of these about once a year from Frontier Food Co-op, and I like them, but they do have kind of a rubbery texture, the good flavor, but rubbery texture. So what I'll do is I'll cook them in the soup, and then I'll put about 4 of them into this broth, and then I'll pull them out and cut them up into really small bits and put them in soup. So, the other thing that I add are 4 bay leaves. I'm putting 5 in here because one of these is really small. So, 2 of them are small. So, and just poke them down. And put it in the Instant Pot. I'm using this in the Instant Pot. You can put it in a crock pot or boil it on the stove. If you're putting it in a crock pot, I recommend, because the leavings are frozen, if you just put cold tap water in, it will take your crock pot forever to start boiling. So I would heat the water on the stove first and then put it over the leavings. Otherwise, boil it on the stove for, I would say, probably 45 minutes. Simmer it slowly. Crock pot will take about 5 to 8 hours. And if you cook it in the Instant Pot, like I am, 15 minutes. So the next thing you do is put it in the Instant Pot. Set it on manual for 15 minutes. Now that the soup stock has cooked and cooled, we're ready to get to the filtering stage. Over the years, I've used several different methods for filtering. I've used cheesecloth, just a few layers of cheesecloth in a simple strainer like this one, and it works pretty well. I've also used these more recently. I got these on Amazon, and they're filters that commercial kitchens use to filter fryer oil so they can reuse it. And it also works pretty well. It gets most of the grit out, and it's a cone filter, and you can get a fancy holder for it, but I just take the one end of the cone, let's do this, and fold it over, just like this, and put it in the colander. And that also works pretty well. It gets most of the grit out, but not all of it. It's also the nice thing about these is you can wash them out and use them over and over and over and over again. But what I'm using lately, and the thing that I found that works the best and gets most of the really fine particles out, is simply a pour over coffee maker. Just one of these little things you can pick up in any hardware store for a few dollars. And a number 4 cone paper filter fits in, and that works the best. And so all you need to do is get your ladle and very gently pour your soup. It's actually less messy this way. I ladle it because it's heavy and I have less spillage. The disadvantage of these paper coffee filters is it does take longer, but I think they do a better job, so that's why I use them. Oh, this is life in YouTube land. Unfortunately, the final segment that I filmed last night in my kitchen is in video heaven, wherever those pixels go when they disappear from your camera. So I'm filming this segment in my office. 18 cups of water and 8 cups of vegetable leavings yielded 16 cups, and that's a full gallon, of the most clear, amber, fragrant, flavorful stock for just pennies. If you think you'll try this, give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, and you'll get a notification next time I upload a video. Next week, in fact, in the next few weeks to come, I'll be talking about what to do with all that stock you make. Thanks for watching.